Yo, what's up guys, it's Luke here. I have another Wi-Fi battle for you guys today. We had one yesterday actually. You guys are lucky, you're getting two in a row. But this was a pretty decent match. You can see he's actually using a Sun based team. I guess it's a Sun mono team. And I'm just bringing the regular old stuff. So straight away I noticed that I really want to get rocks up on this team. It's going to be super beneficial for me to do that. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. So I'm going to go ahead and lead with my T-Tar here, as he's going to go ahead and lead with his Charizard. Now the fact that he led with it, and I know this sounds silly, and the fact that it's shiny tells me that it's a Bellyzard. So I know he's going to want to go for the substitute this first turn and go for the Belly Drum. But I figured that I have stuff on my team for this thing, and rocks really are more important because I know Volcarona will be a huge threat later on. So I end up getting up my Stealth Rocks and then switching out to my Rotom here. I'm not really too sure, obviously. Well, he was going to go for the Belly Drum, obviously. So that's why I know I'm going to get a free switch. So I go into Rotom now. Now I'm thinking I can take a hit. Depending on what his moveset is, and depending on what his spread and his nature is, etc. But he's going to end up hitting me with a Fire Punch now, and this is going to do massive amounts of damage. I really thought I would take this a little bit better than I did. I know he's at max attack and everything, but as you'll see, actually, you know what, come to think of it now, I'm surprised I lived it, and I take it with 44 HP left, which is pretty good. I'm able to break this up with the substitute, so that's fine. He's definitely going to be able to kill me off next turn, and I don't want to switch out because I don't know what this thing has. I don't know what kind of set it is. Obviously it's Belly Drum, but I don't know what moves he carries. We've seen substitute, Belly Drum, Fire Punch, and I never got to see his last move, so he ends up going for Fire Punch here and takes me out, which is why I didn't want to switch. Maybe I could have gone a Gliscor, but I didn't really want it to take that, so I may as well just fodder off my Rotom like I do. Now I notice he's got one more turn of Sand before he dies, so I'm going to end up going out into my Gliscor just to get the Protect off. That way, you know, I'm not going to take any damage, and he's going to lose his Charizard this turn. Now he did have threats on his team, especially, you know, Gliscor. He could have had anything with Hidden Power Ice on it, so I was really worried. So he ends up going into his Victini here, and I figure it's going to be, I don't know what kind of set it's going to be. I was actually expecting it to be a Scarf variant, so I end up staying in and just going for the EQ, knowing I could take any one hit, because Victinis don't carry the Hidden Power Ice very often. And it turns out that he's a Trick Room set, so that works really, really well for me, because in the Sand, obviously, he's not got many turns left, so I know I can go for the Protect here, as he's more than likely going to want to hit me with the V-Create. I know that's going to do a ridiculous amount of damage. I actually did a calc, and it turned out that I had something like a 90% chance to live with enough HP to sub, so I actually risked it and went for the substitute here, and you'll see that it pays off because I do actually live with enough HP to get that sub up. And obviously he's going to die off to Sand next turn, so this works out really, really well for me. So I get my sub. I'm at low HP, but you know, he's going to be knocked out by Sandstorm this turn, so I have a sub for whatever wants to come in now. I think he decides to bring in his Ninetales, and the unfortunate thing about this Ninetales is that I believe it's this that's on a balloon, I think. I'm not sure. Yeah, he's on a balloon. So I can't touch him because I am the sub-stalling set, so I just decide to hit him with a Toxic. And to my surprise, I actually outspeed, which is great, because that means that I can just stay in here as long as I want and basically Toxic stall this thing until it dies. And then that way I can bring in my T-Tar and, you know, I can just basically Pursuit Trap it and do whatever I need to do. And that means I get Perma Sand as well, so I go for the Protect here, just because, you know, I am trying to Toxic stall him, so it's, you know, my bad. I guess it's kind of a dick move, but that's what the set's made to do. I mean, you wouldn't really bitch about flinching from Jirachi, so anyway, I'm just going to end up doing that. Now I end up switching to my T-Tar here. Now I could have stayed in and sub-stored him with the Gliscor, but I wanted to switch out to my T-Tar mainly because I knew switching out to T-Tar would force him to switch, because he does want to get his Sun up again later on for the pokes that he has left, especially Soul's Butt. And Volcarona to hit harder, I guess. So I'm actually going to predict to switch out here and hit him with a Pursuit, and from that range it's actually going to be able to take him out. So, you know, Gliscor Toxic Stalling really helped him out there, because the Pursuit definitely wouldn't have taken this thing out of max HP. So now he's going to go out to his Arcanine. I know he's going to want to go for the Close Combat. It's the only thing he has on his set that would OHKO my T-Tar, and why else bring it in otherwise? So I'm going to make the switch out to my Gliscor now, which I know can take the Close Combat just fine. I'll actually take this better than I had thought or hoped. See, like, it does like nothing. So here I have a choice now. I can leave in my Gliscor and see what he wants to go for and go for the Earthquake because there's nothing on his team, or I can switch out and, you know, predict the Fire move, which I don't really have all that much to switch to, and I can't switch in T-Tar because then we'll just go for the Close Combat. So I end up leaving in my Gliscor as he goes for the normal gem boosted extreme speed. I don't know why, I don't know, maybe Landorus, I guess that would be useful for, maybe, I don't know. So anyway, like, I end up living that, obviously, and I just end up taking him out. He goes into Swordsbuck now. Now, I'm actually going to predict him to want to expect my switch and go for the Sword Stance. So I'm actually going to stay in and hit this thing with the Toxic. The sand is up at the moment, so I don't have to worry about this thing's speed if it does take out my Glide Score. Now, right here, I'm actually going to predict him to want to predict me to Protect, because that's what I've been doing all game. So I'm actually going to switch it up here. He's going to go for the SD, and I'm actually going to go for the Earthquake. Now, I could have set up a sub on this thing. I guess that probably would have been a better thing to do, to stall it a little bit more for some poison damage, but I just end up, you know, going for the Earthquake just to get some damage off, because I do know I have the Scizor and I have the Sashed Alakazam to go into should I need to. So now I go for the Protect, thinking he's not going to want to go to +6, he's just going to want to try and take me out, but he does end up ending, I forgot English, so he ends up going for the Sword Stance. Obviously now he's going to be at +6, that's a big problem for me. I'm going to need to basically switch out now, because this thing is going to recover too much HP with the Horn Leech. So I'm going to end up switching out to my Scizor, who is going to be able to resist that and take that a little bit better probably. And I'm able to just go for the Bullet Punch to take this thing out now from the range that it's at. I could have gone for the U-turn, but it was a bit risky, seeing as I didn't really think he was going to switch out just because Stealth Rocks are up. And oh, he dies to Poison. Never mind, that's pretty cool. So anyway, now he goes into Volcarona. I really don't have much of a choice. I need to get damage off on this thing. I thought maybe he wouldn't be the Roost set, so I end up going for the Bullet Punch, bringing him down, hoping that, you know, with Sandstorm I'll be able to take out with another one. But he does end up being the Roost set, which is interesting because that thing's usually close to max defense, and that means I'm definitely going to have to switch here, because this thing is just going to kill me and I'm going to get Flame Body, and all the hacks is going to be going down. So I decide to switch out to my Scarfarachi now, while he's most likely going to set up the Quiver Dance here, and because of that I pretty much screw him over, because this is the Choice Scarfarachi, and unlike my usual Scarfarachi sets, I actually carried the trick on this set, so I'm going to be able to trick that Volcarona the Choice Scarf this round, or this turn, and that's going to lock him in to whatever he decides to go for, which doesn't really work out all that great. I mean, it was going to work out regardless, but how well it worked out, if he'd have gone for the Quiver Dance or the Roost or something like that there, that would have been perfect. But he ends up going for the Fiery Dance, I think it is, and that ends up taking me out with a crit. I'm not really too sure that mattered. It wasn't in the sun, and it was boosted, and I don't run any EVs or anything, so I'm going to assume that it didn't matter. So I'm going to go out to Alakazam now. I am sashed, so the basic idea was to just go out to this, Psychic, get as much damage off as possible, go to Scizor, and then BP for the win. But as you guys are going to see, I end up taking him out with a crit. So yeah, that was a great game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, you can always feel free to leave a comment or a like, subscribe, join the Keldeo army. Thank you guys for your support so far. Hope you guys are enjoying the Wi-Fi battles. I'm tired of talking now. You're probably tired of me, so I will see you guys tomorrow when I actually can be bothered to upload another video. Cheers.